At a fire on Chicago's South Side. We're going to have a live update from the scene.
A massive construction project is going on right now on the Kennedy Expressway. What drivers need to know for the morning commute.
And former President Donald Trump says he expects to be indicted today. How authorities are preparing for possible protests on this Tuesday, March 21st.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Val Warner.
And good to be with you. I'm Terrell Brown. The first full day of spring is here. How's the day going to shape up? Let's go outside, take a look. 37 degrees. Doesn't look bad at all out there. Feels pretty decent right now, too, Tracy. It's not going to be bad today.
Yeah, not too bad at all. I mean, we have some passing clouds out there, none that are bearing any precipitation. As we look at the temperatures, mid to upper 30s in most cases, although we get lower into the 30s. Aurora, DeKalb, right now 33 in Valparaiso, 34 Kankakee, 33 in Morrison, 35 degrees now in Waukegan. Today, overall, probably more clouds than sun. Highs today will head in the direction of 50 degrees. It will be a bit breezy, not as windy as yesterday. And then this evening, there will be some light rain that does move into the area. But tomorrow, we are anticipating some very heavy rain here, most likely tomorrow night into the day on Thursday. More on that in my next report. Roz, what do you have to report on?
A lot of things, but I'm going to start with this metro delay because it really does tie into the Kennedy. A lot of folks might take the UP Northwest as an alternate to the Kennedy with the construction underway, but right now we still have some major delays because of an earlier track obstruction near Barrington. The trains are going through, but you're going to need some extra time there, and you're really going to need extra time on all of the expressways. We're anywhere from 40 minutes to over an hour. Plus, we have a crash outbound on the Stevenson southbound 55 at Cass. It's causing delays in both directions, but of course the monstrous delays are going to be inbound on the Kennedy. It is an hour and 5 minutes from O'Hare to downtown and 45 minutes on the Edens from Lake Cook to the Kennedy Junction, which is where all that construction starts, which leads me to my colleague Diane Pathieu, who has been sitting in this traffic throughout the morning. Diane, give us a little bit more perspective.
Oh, feels like forever. Let's take you right to the road and show you what it's like. So we are just now getting out of it. So you can see the two left lanes are gone here on the inbound side of the Kennedy, those express lanes. If you can look right in the center to the left of your screen, they are open to inbound traffic. And we were stuck in traffic for what felt like forever. We started off on the west end of the Kennedy, closer to O'Hare. And now here we are getting closer to the loop, and it's been really bumper to bumper. This looks a little bit more open because here you go. You get another lane that's going to open up, and once we pass or once we approach Addison here, you're going to see the other lanes are now opening up. So this is the breakdown of what's going to happen. This is phase one. So IDOT began putting up those barricades overnight, taking down two left lanes from Montrose to Irving Park. By the end of this week, though, those two left lanes are going to be down all the way to Hubbard's Cave. This is a 3-year, $150 million project. It's going to be done, as I mentioned, in 3 phases. This is the first phase, the inbound lanes. Then next year, it's going to be the reversibles, followed by the outbound lanes in 2025. Drivers, as you can imagine, anticipating major headaches.
It's going to be a pain in the butt, and I'm not going to like to take an alternate route to get to work every morning.
It's going to be terrible, but I know it has to be done. It's not going to be a great experience, but yeah, we have to go through it, I guess.
We really do have to go through it. And this is where I want drivers to try and pay as much attention as possible, because I take the Kennedy every day and I had to sit there and really figure out how I'm going to reroute myself in the morning too. Now, granted, we come in a little bit earlier, but those of you that don't, try and stagger the time you drive into work. So for example, if your start time is 9 o'clock, if you can get in the car earlier, like maybe 6 or 7 o'clock, because we started seeing traffic begin to build significantly in the 5 a.m. hour, which is very different for those of us that drive the Kennedy. It doesn't usually start at 5 a.m. So there's that. Then IDOT is saying if you can take CTA and Metro, that's the best bet, right? So definitely try and do that if you can. You can take the Eisenhower, you can take DeSable Lakeshore Drive if the traffic is not something you want to deal with. Think about this. This is a 63-year-old expressway that hasn't been worked on for 30 years. There's so much that has to be done, not just bridge repair, but they're going to do LED signage. They're going to do I mean, look at this pavement. It's so bumpy. It's so awful. If you've driven the Kennedy recently, it's nothing but potholes all the way around. So lots of pavement patching, lots of work that has to be done. Keep in mind, those express lanes are going to be inbound the entire first phase. So you can take them going into work, You will not be able to take them going back home. Back to you in the studio.
All righty, a lot of good information, Diane. Thank you. And Diane mentioned this, the work on the Kennedy is happening through 2025. It is being broken up into stages, 3 of them. Got all the information you need to know on this project in the timeline on our website, ABC7Chicago.com. Want to get you an update on this breaking situation we've been watching on the city's south side this morning. 4 Chicago firefighters were hurt trying to put out this fire.
Let's get right to Christian Picos, who's live at the scene in Jeffrey Manor. Christian.
Hey, Valentrell, those 4 firefighters were taken to local hospitals to be evaluated. Fortunately, according to CFD, with just minor injuries after a fire broke out inside of a home on the 2200 block of 100th Street on the far south side.
But collapsed second floor in the primary building with firemen were trapped.
CFD says 2 firefighters were trapped inside that townhome while battling the fire after the second floor collapsed. Fortunately, both were able to make it out, and fire officials say they were not seriously injured. Dozens of firefighters rushed to the scene just before 4 this morning to try and douse the flames. We spoke with the next-door neighbor of the home that caught fire to try and find out what could have started this fire in the first place.
The house was unlivable in the beginning. They had to be squatters. They had the 2 houses on the end. They had fire, I don't know how long ago they had a fire in there, but they were still living in a condemned house.
Fire officials say the 2 people inside the home at the time of the fire are accounted for, and what you're taking a look at right now is the charred remains of that townhome right there. Most of the Chicago Fire Department has since left the scene, but there are still a couple of firefighters evaluating and investigating what caused this fire in the first place. The good news here, Valentrell, is that CFD says everybody affected by this fire has been accounted for. Back to you.
All right, Christian, thank you. Well, a scare last night on Chicago's west side. Bricks fell off of a vacant apartment building onto a townhome next door. This was on North Pulaski near Washington in West Garfield Park. No one was hurt, but cell phone video shows the falling debris damaged multiple rooms of the townhome and even crashed through the ceiling of a bedroom. A mother and a baby live in one of those rooms. The city's buildings department says they're looking into the incident, and firefighters got everyone out of the impacted building.
We now know the names of 2 Central Illinois high school students killed in a sledding accident in Colorado. It's really sad. The Prairie Central School District confirms that Dylan Bazell and Drew Furr died Sunday at Copper Mountain Ski Resort. They were sledding together when they launched off of a large snowbank and landed on hard ice below, and that caused extensive injuries.
A North suburban girl is recovering after being hit by a school bus. This happened yesterday afternoon near the corner of Dempster and Karlov in Skokie. Firefighters say the girl was crossing the street when the bus hit her. There was visible damage to the front of the bus. The child was taken by ambulance to the hospital. Skokie police are investigating the crash. The
South suburban mother of a teenager with developmental disabilities is pleading for help this morning. Alicia Rodriguez says that her car contained 15-year-old Aiden's custom wheelchair and car seat, and it was stolen Sunday night from outside their Blue Island home.
Why me? Why would they do that knowing that they see a handicap sign out there? Why would they take a car knowing that that car is for a person who has a handicap?
Rodriguez says that she needs the car to take Aiden to frequent doctor's appointments. She tells us that if she doesn't get the equipment back, she will lose tens of thousands of dollars. And if you know anything about this, police are asking for your help.
Former President Donald Trump claimed without evidence over the weekend that he could be arrested as soon as today and called on supporters to protest.
Yeah, he's at the center of a Manhattan grand jury criminal investigation into hush money payments to an adult film star. ABC's Justin Finch is watching this live in Washington this morning. Justin, good morning.
Val, good morning. And the former president's arrest would be historic, of course, if it were to happen. And so preparations are now underway on Capitol Hill and nationwide. Police in New York City setting up barricades and preparing for former President Donald Trump's possible indictment. Trump saying over the weekend, without evidence, that he would be arrested today and urging supporters to, quote, protest and take our nation back. So far, Trump's spokesman has said he has not been notified about an imminent arrest, and no comment yet from Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. But Bragg telling his staff, we do not tolerate attempts to intimidate our office or threaten the rule of law in New York.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels?
Trump initially denied knowing about the hush money that a Manhattan grand jury is now investigating, but later said he did. That $130,000 paid to adult film actress Stormy Daniels during the 2016 campaign to cover up their relationship. Prosecutors now investigating if Trump falsified documents and violated election laws.
It's a typical Donald J. Trump play out of the playbook. Figure out how you're going to muddy the water as best as you possibly can.
Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, on MSNBC. Cohen has admitted to helping to arrange that Daniels payment at Trump's direction and pleaded guilty to campaign finance violations.
Michael Cohen, he's totally unreliable. Well, he went to jail, and now he's on the revenge tour.
Trump ally Robert Costello testifying before the grand jury that Trump committed no crime.
Was ABC's Justin Finch reporting. Today marks 2 weeks until Chicago's mayoral runoff election. The two remaining candidates for mayor spoke at a forum last night focused on bringing together Chicago's Black and Latino communities. Brandon Johnson and Paul Vallis spoke separately at the Chicago History Museum. The candidates were not on stage at the same time. There were some heated questions from the audience, though. People had pieces of red and green paper. If they agreed with what the candidate was saying, they would hold up the green. If they disagreed, red. Both candidates spoke about their plans for education, economic development, immigration, and of course, stopping crime.
You need local beat cops. You need beat integrity. So if there's a call, it's coming in minutes. And the police officer that's responding knows the community.
It was worse with more police officers. There's not a direct correlation between law enforcement and law enforcement spending in safety.
You can get paid to be a Cook County poll worker in the April 4th consolidated election. The clerk's office is trying to fill 1,000 open positions, including election judges. They get $250 a day. Polling place technicians can make $385 for working the upcoming election. Training runs through March 28th.
And that's 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
We need 1,000 folks in 2 weeks.
We do, it's good luck,
Yeah.
but we need them.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, you're live in local news. Just getting started as we stream out loud this morning.
Yep, coming up, Tracy has the forecast. Roz has the latest on the Kennedy commute, plus this.
Nearly 2 million Illinoisans saddled with student debt.
It's the difference between saving up for a home or just getting by.
The steps you can take now to save. Coming up next.
Well, good morning. Here we go on our Tuesday morning, first full day of spring. A lot of clouds out there, but we're managing to eke out a little blue sky too. 38 degrees is the temperature now at O'Hare. Not as windy as what we had yesterday, but enough of a breeze to give us a wind chill of 31 degrees. Right now, Kankakee at 34 degrees. In Sycamore, you're at 31. Seneca at 38. Coal City right now at 34 degrees. Oak Park at 36. Gurnee at 35. It's 34 degrees in Munster and 37 now in Crown Point. Today, we'll get up into the 50s again. We hit 52 yesterday. I think we'll do the same today. After about 6, 7 o'clock this evening, there will be some light rain that moves into the area. Shouldn't really trouble us for our morning commute tomorrow. However, Tomorrow evening into the morning on Thursday, some very heavy rain and maybe a few storms coming our way. Roz?
Yeah, thankfully we don't have to deal with any weather problems right now because we've got plenty of traffic out there. 45 minutes to an hour. It's going to be the average travel time. We've got 2 spots I'm keeping an eye on. This crash, 3 cars. It's southbound on 55 at Cass. The left lane is blocked. And then we've got this big gapers delay northbound that starts from before 355. The outbound trip hits the brakes before the tri-state. And then, of course, we have the fun and games on the Kennedy. Yes, inbound, they've got the 2 left lanes closed between Montrose and Irving. That will change throughout the week. And then the Edens, as part of this project, as you approach the junction at Lawrence, it narrows from 3 to 2 lanes. So take a look at our live crew. They are set up at Montrose, looking at that inbound trip. Your travel times are so high right now. The Kennedy is still close to an hour from O'Hare to downtown, and the Edens is at least 45 minutes. Pretty soon it's going to be 50 minutes from Lake Cook to the Kennedy Junction. So really need to think about using some alternates, stagger your times. I mean, whatever options you have, try them out, because this is what we're going to be dealing with for many, many months. Val and Terrell.
All right, got it. All right, thank you so much, Ross. So nearly 2 million people in Illinois are paying back student loans.
And as the country waits for a ruling from the Supreme Court on President Biden's student loan relief program, tonight our I-Team looks at how consumers can control that debt. Consumer investigator Jason Knowles has more on the action borrowers can take.
Experts tell the I-Team there are things people can do right now to save on student loans. We spoke to one Chicago student who was waiting to see if some of his loans will be forgiven.
I never even thought I would have the chance to go to college in the first place. Neither of my parents even finished freshman year of high school.
Samer Hassan spent 2 years at a Chicago community college, got a full-ride scholarship at Columbia University in New York, and will soon have his master's in public policy from the University of Chicago. Now Hassan is strapped with more than $100,000 in student loan debt, despite working full-time and receiving scholarships.
This country, you know, they go out of their way to forgive the PPP loans. They forgave big oil. They forgave big banks. But at the end of the day, don't you want to invest in the future of your country?
He could get some of his debt forgiven by the federal government, but some question the fairness to people who have already paid off their student loans, or for those who chose not to go to college at all because of the cost. Ultimately, the U.S. Supreme Court will determine if President Biden's loan forgiveness plan will be upheld or struck down. If it remains, low and middle income people could see relief of up to $20,000 in federal student loans.
It would bring down my monthly student loan. It was like $1,300 a month to $1,000 to $950 a month, and that is substantial.
The ABC7 data team found that there are 1.7 million student loan borrowers in Illinois. Each borrower averages $38,000 in loans. Those numbers total to almost $65 billion in Illinois student loan debt, making Illinois 9th highest in the nation when it comes to total loan amounts owed. While students wait on that Supreme Court decision, experts tell the I-Team there are steps borrowers should take right now.
Move forward as if you're going to have to repay all of your loans. Make a plan for that. Build your budget around that payment.
For now, you can sock away those payments in a personal emergency fund. Then go to the federal government's loan simulator site to calculate your current payments and options.
Use the payment calculator to find the lowest payment or the shortest payoff time. The quicker you pay, the less interest you pay.
You may save money on your loans by qualifying for life changes, such as a lower income or having a child since you last certified the loan. And if you defaulted on a loan, the Biden administration's Fresh Start program gives people a second chance to improve their credit by making their loan current.
It gives them back access to things like eligibility for VA loans, eligibility for FHA loans, stopping garnishment of wages and tax refunds.
Since Hassan currently works at a nonprofit, he could also qualify for another loan forgiveness program in the future, but he's still hoping that $20,000 in debt will be forgiven.
it's the difference between saving up for a home, saving up for an actual future in this country, or just getting by.
There are more federal and state programs you can qualify for to get relief on student loans, like if you're a teacher, lawyer, or government worker. You can find more information about these different options on our website, abc7chicago.com. Jason Knowles, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Coming up, the local surgeon that is turning casts into works of colorful art for her young patients. We'll be right back.
This is making Chicago proud. An orthopedic surgeon at Shriners Children's Chicago who is making her mark on her patients.
That's right. Felicity Fishman specializes in pediatric hand and arm surgery. For years, she's been making something fun for her young patients to wake up to after their operations. She leaves behind colorful artwork of sharks and dinosaurs, unicorns, even Minnie Mouse on one of the kids' casts. The families of the Fishman's patients say her signature artwork on cast has made a big impact.
And they love it, I'm sure.
How can they not?
Oh
I love it.
It's awesome, right? All right, so we're going to link up with everybody right now that's watching Good Morning America. Tanya's going to have a news update on TV in just a bit. You'll see it right here, too. That and more when we come back.
Oopsie.
Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It is 7:23. I'm Tanya Babich. 4 Chicago firefighters are recovering this morning. The 4 suffered minor injuries battling a fire on the south side. The fire broke out around 4 a.m. in a townhome in the 2200 block of 100th Street. 2 firefighters became trapped inside the building after the second floor collapsed. One had to be rescued when the debris pinned the firefighter from the waist down. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Let's get a check of our ABC7 AccuWeather forecast now. Here's meteorologist Tracy Butler.
Hi, Tanya. Good morning. And it is a pretty good weather morning out there. Had a beautiful sunrise amidst some clouds, too. But 38 at O'Hare, 37 at Midway, 37 degrees right now over at Northerly Island. Today, we will have basically a mix of clouds and sun this morning. More clouds than sun this afternoon. Rain chances are really going to increase, however, around the area this evening. And then tomorrow, our rain chances, well, they become very elevated here tomorrow evening and into the day on Thursday. We will take a break, Roz, after this.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Welcome back to a trouble-filled rush hour. Now we've got a crash southbound on the Tri-State right around the Eisenhower. We can see it on our tollway camera. It is blocking the right lane. We have emergency crews with it, and it is causing a delay. Back at the maps, we are looking at some high travel times, anywhere from 50 minutes to an hour, and we still have this crash southbound on I-55 at Cass, hitting the brakes at the Tri-State. A big gapers delay northbound that starts at Route 126 in Plainfield. And then, of course, the Kennedy construction. Oh, yeah, that. We have 2 lanes. It's narrowed down to 2 lanes from the junction to Irving. Take a look at our live crew showing us bumper-to-bumper traffic. 55 minutes from O'Hare to downtown. Edens is 45, Lake Cook to Montrose.
Welcome back. Time now 7:27. Rush plans to open a major new medical facility on the city's west side. The hospital announced yesterday the outpatient center would be built at the site of a former Sears at North and Harlem. This, of course, on the border of Elmwood Park and Oak Park. Rush says the 60,000 square foot facility will offer healthcare services by primary and specialty care providers, including cancer, neurology, and cardiology. The facility could open as soon as January of 2025. You will eventually be able to be face-to-face with a gorilla at Brookfield Zoo. The primate area is set to get an expansion. These renderings show what the tropic world habitat will look like. Guests will get to see the animals experience the outdoors and can connect with them in a whole new way. A fence is up now around the new site as preparation works begins. A groundbreaking is scheduled for this fall. That sounds cool. Coming up, you and your boo are getting serious, and now you're talking about moving in with each other. But do you know enough about each other's financial situation to jump right in? We're going to discuss that. Plus, we hate to say it, but CDs are now old school. In fact, they've been around for 4 decades. So, do you chuck them or do you save them? We're back in 90 seconds.
You're watching ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7, streaming live now.
Bottom of the hour now at 7:30. A look at the morning's top stories, and the barricades are now up for the start of the Kennedy Expressway construction project. The 3-year, $150 million project will be done in 3 phases. IDOT suggests trying to leave home earlier or stagger your drive time if you can. The 63-year-old Expressway hasn't had any major work done in nearly 30 years.
Yes, time. 4 Chicago firefighters suffered minor injuries while fighting a fire at a townhome on the south side. The blaze broke out around 4 this morning on 100th Street near Marion Burns Park. 2 firefighters became trapped inside the building after the second floor collapsed. One had to be rescued when debris pinned the firefighter from the waist down. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Testimony resumes today in the corruption trial of the so-called ComEd 4. Yesterday, Illinois State Representative Bob Rita took the stand. He testified that former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan ruled the chamber through, quote, fear and intimidation. 2 former ComEd executives, a political consultant, and a retired lobbyist are accused of trying to bribe Madigan for favorable legislation. All right, 7:31. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner. Good to be with you this morning. Taking a look outside. It looks really nice. The temperature's not too bad. Tracy is standing by to tell you what you're in store for the rest of the day.
Good morning, everybody. And yeah, no precipitation out there right now. We do have some clouds kind of strolling in and out. And later on today, some showers are going to stroll in and out. So that's 5 o'clock this evening. We get to 7 o'clock this evening. There you see some rain. And this is really not going to be very much, enough to wet the pavement briefly, maybe. Right now, we're at 38 at O'Hare, 37 at Midway. Complete forecast in my next report. Roz?
Starting with a new crash, this one in the suburbs, Hanover Park on Lake Street at Walnut. It just happened, so I suspect we're going to see delays there very shortly. Big picture, we're still looking at 45 to 55-minute average travel times. A little bit of good news on I-55, southbound at Cass. They finally cleared that crash, so we're going to see these big backups dissipate in both directions. But we still have ongoing construction, of course, on the Kennedy, and we've got the 2 left lanes closed between the junction and Irving. It's only going to get worse from there. We've got a live crew at Montrose looking at that inbound traffic, which is crawling along. That has our highest travel time. It's 55 minutes from O'Hare into downtown. And take a look at our tollway camera. Southbound on the Tri-State at the 290, we've got a crash in the right lane, and that is causing about a 2 to 3 mile backup, extending back into that O'Hare corridor of southbound 294. Isn't this fun?
Yeah.
Not really.
One bumper. Look at that.
I know.
It really backs up traffic.
Yeah, and the accident isn't even that bad.
No,
but
it's
does,
that lane.
Yep.
There's no shoulder. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All righty. Well, now to get to today's talkers, we're talking about money and relationships. Money can't buy you love, but can sure tell you a lot about the person you're dating.
And experts tell us the financial red flags to spot in a partner. Val has that.
You think you might have found the one. But before things get too serious, you should take a look at your date's money habits.
Money habits can actually influence and be indicators, not only with respect to finances, but also with respect to what your partner prioritizes, how he or she spends their time.
Emily Irwin of Wells Fargo says how your partner deals with money can affect you too, especially if you're thinking about taking the next step, like signing a lease together or getting married.
You want to be sure as you enter into a relationship that you're not taking on additional risk or liability that you didn't intend to or that you were unaware of.
Irwin says to keep an eye out for these 4 money red flags. Financial secrecy. If your partner is unable or unwilling to discuss their finances with you, such as income, expenses, spending habits, or debt, it could be a red flag.
Inevitably, conversations are going to arise about financial decisions, and you want to be sure that you have a full picture of the other's balance sheet.
Another red flag, flaunting wealth. This can include always being the one to pick up the bill in a showy way, or always buying the most expensive gifts for themselves or others.
It can demonstrate a higher risk tolerance that you may or may not be comfortable with, or even cause pressure on you to reciprocate those types of large expenditures.
Be cautious of job instability or lack of career goals.
What's important is, what does that person prioritize in his or her life, and how is he or she going to support that in the future?
And look out for unattractive frugality, which includes behaviors you might find unappealing, like unwillingness to tip or contribute to charities.
And so you really need to take a step back and say to yourself, is this person's behaviors, these little micro behaviors, indicators of something larger that in the long term might be something that you find you just are polar opposites?
While talking about money can be a sensitive topic for couples, Irwin says it's important to start the conversation in small, incremental ways.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A lot to take in.
It is a lot.
Yeah,
It is a
imagine
lot.
dating now.
No, actually, I can't. No.
You're like, no.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, what are some red flags when it comes to money and relationships? And when should couples combine their accounts? What about secret accounts? I don't know, but like I've heard this. This didn't happen in my family, but I've heard women talk about how their grandmothers or their mothers or their aunts have always told them to have that
Mad money.
Secret. Oh, is it mad?
What's it called?
Hold on.
Yeah, because see, I never heard
remember that.
Yeah. What's Mad Money?
So my grandmother, she had these figurines, which I have them now, and it was a dog and a cat, and she always told me, make sure you check the dog and the cat for my Mad Money whenever I pass away.
Whoa!
And, yes, and
Yeah.
she always said, you always have to have your own Mad Money. Keep it under the mattress or whatever.
And what's it
which
for?
I don't.
When you get mad.
Oh, so you can
get
take
mad
off.
if you need to.
Oh.
So in our community, well, it's called something different.
What's it called?
I can't say on
Oh,
TV.
Having the stash in the...
It's called, I should say our community. Roz, you'll be able to appreciate this. It's 2 letters. Come on now, I can't say it.
Okay, 2 letters.
It's an abbreviation for 2 words, but the letters. I'll tell you in the commercial
brain
break.
dead right now.
Okay, that's okay.
Got it.
I
I
can't
bet
say
it's
it.
good, too.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's the
Yeah,
exact
same
same
concept,
process. It's just
right.
called something different. So your grandma too said Mad Money?
Oh, yeah, my mom did. My mom would.
Mad
I mean, when I was a teenager.
My mother never told
Mad
me
Money.
that.
No.
I
Now-
still have Mad Money.
What I was about to ask, why do you need it in? So I know, just in case things happen, you maybe get a little upset.
Emergency.
Yeah,
You know.
but if you're in this trusted marriage and things are
Doesn't
going-
matter. Doesn't matter. You're thinking too deep. You always gotta have your stash.
For yourself,
Period.
your own.
Anybody in
Right.
whatever
Does
kind of
that-
relationship
So does that go
you're
for the
in.
man too in the
Yes.
relationship?
Of course.
So the man should have his Mad Money too.
He should.
So
if
I
he's
can
smart.
use my Mad Money
to do what you want to do.
Okay.
You know what?
You get permission.
Okay.
Like, I have my account, Glenn has his account, and then we have a joint account, and we use that for the bills.
Ah.
And so,
okay,
if I
that
want
makes
something,
sense.
I buy it
On yourself,
myself.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. It's my money.
We so I've been married twice. On the second one, the first one we did money together. That didn't quite work out. So this one is new. So we have a joint savings account, and then the other 2 separate.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
And then we've designated who
makes
does
sense.
what bills.
Right,
But
right.
haven't ventured into the joint checking yet.
Well, that's just, so we
don't
pay
know
bills out of that.
Yeah.
Now, who pays the bills? Do you
Well-
pay them, or does I guess the question is, who's better at managing the money? Not
Do you really want me to answer that?
That plays such a big role in everything.
It
right?
is.
It is.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right.
Can I just say that I suck at it?
So is Jabba better?
He is better, but it's still kind of separate, like coming like this because
Yeah.
we're new. But I am getting ready to relinquish control because I'm, I've talked about it. I mean, I told you how I am behind in some things, and he's very much on top. He gets up every morning. He checks his account.
Oh.
I haven't checked my account in forever.
Don't relinquish all control. You can back off.
Okay.
Keep an eye on things. Just saying.
Roz's marital advice.
That's right.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've been married 4 times. Hello.
If somebody knows what to do on this desk,
What
it's
not
this
to do.
one, or what not to do.
And I'm sure he's wonderful.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was great.
Not all control, but I just need help. I just need help.
I have to backtrack here because Glenn is so good with math.
Yeah.
So good with math.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Good job.
we really do
compliment
Each other. And that's why it works.
And that's
It's
the
perfect.
end, but
Yep.
still keep you mad, man.
Stash somewhere. Hey, I want to get into spring cleaning and the CD turning 40 years old this month. You might do both. Clean out the CDs to make room for spring cleaning. CDs, compact disc, also known as a CD, hit the U.S. in 1983.
Wow.
CDs took over tapes in the late 80s. They peaked in the late 90s. MP3 and streaming took over CDs, of course. Vinyl, which is crazy, has now surpassed the sales of CDs. So we're kind of going back. So do you have a CD that you like? When was the last time you listened to one? I have one.
Ooh.
Oh, you
Yeah. I had to. I got an email
dig
from
to
our
find it?
producer. I had to find it. And it's
Do
something.
you have a CD player in your car?
No.
Because remember
That's a
back in the
good
day,
question.
yeah, remember
No.
you used to have CD players in the car.
Yeah.
I don't think the new
I don't
cars
even
have
know
them.
if I have.
They don't.
I've never even checked it. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, mine does.
Does it?
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah,
Cars have CD
because-
players.
Yeah.
You might.
I have a 2022, so I
You
don't
might not.
know.
Yeah, you might not.
Yeah.
Is that Boyz II Men?
not.
Iron Man. I don't know why I even have this. It's the soundtrack to Iron Man. And everybody used to go out and buy the soundtracks to
Yeah.
movies.
Yes.
So Bodyguard at home is laying around somewhere.
Oh,
I don't know.
I
That's a
have
good one.
that.
You have Bodyguard?
Oh, I love
isn't
that.
it great?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I still have all my CDs.
Do you?
Yeah, at home. I didn't see his note to bring something in,
Yeah,
but
I didn't either.
no, I still have all
that stuff?
Yeah.
I do too.
It's
but they're packed away.
Yeah.
And like Tracy, I didn't see the bring in your CD until it was too late. And I said, you know what? Even if I did see it, I wouldn't have had time to
go
find it.
dig. That's what I had. Right.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing. Do you have the CD players? Remember back in the day, they used to have those CD players that replaced the Walkman that you
right,
could wear.
the Discman.
Yeah, the
Discman, yeah,
Discman.
no.
Yeah, and you could just like wear it on your hip or
No,
across your.
but after my parents passed and I was cleaning out their house, I found a big boom box that my dad had got like some
Does it still
promotional
work?
thing, and it was brand new.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, I'm taking that.
Yep.
I hope you kept it.
I did, and
Okay,
it works.
good.
It works.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a keepsake.
Yeah.
Some things you
That
just
one
can't
go.
give away. Okay, so Tracy, you're keeping everything.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
got rid of some CDs and DVDs.
Yeah, I'm out too. And
Yeah.
then Roz, you
You're keeping 'em,
keep them
aren't you?
too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they're packed away.
Right.
My daughter's like, Mom, get rid of them, get rid of them, get rid of them.
Oh, really? So
Oh,
you're not
yeah.
even saving them for Sarah?
She don't want
I
them.
don't want them. Or you could,
Oh, then get rid of them.
Yeah.
When I die, she's gonna throw out all my stuff. Gone, garbage. No, blah, get rid of it.
Yep. Ah, boy, the way it goes. Yeah, you can stream everything these days, so you don't even need it anymore. All right, hey, coming up this morning, a trial involving Gwyneth Paltrow begins today. We'll explain what she's accused of doing.
Plus, we now know who will replace Dancing with the Stars host Tyra Banks. I didn't even know she was leaving.
I didn't know either.
We're back in 90 seconds. I would have applied.
Actress Gwyneth Paltrow goes on trial starting today in the Utah ski resort town of Park City. She's accused in a lawsuit of crashing into a skier during a 2016 family ski vacation. The man suing accuses the actress of skiing out of control, leaving him with a concussion and 4 broken ribs. Paltrow has countered that, saying that he was the culprit in the collision and is trying to exploit her celebrity and wealth. At ski resorts, the skier who is downhill has the right of way. So a central question in this case is who was further down this beginner's run when the collision happened. Both Paltrow and Sanderson claim in court filings they were both further downhill when the other rammed into each other.
Where's the surveillance camera?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Break out the camera. That's going to put an end to that case
Yeah.
quick. Julianne Hough is returning to Dancing with the Stars, but not as a dancer. She's taking over as co-host for season 32. Hough won 2 seasons of the show before leaving to focus on other projects. Julianne takes over hosting duties from Tyra Banks, who announced she was leaving last week. Hough will co-host with Alfonso Ribeiro. Her brother Derek is currently a judge on the show.
All right, also today, the lineup for Lollapalooza 2023 will be announced in just a few hours. 10 o'clock this morning, organizers will announce which stars will be performing.
There are 9 stages at Lolla, and usually more than 170 different bands from all over the world take part. Artists hit the stage August 3rd through the 6th at Grant Park. Pitchfork Music Festival has announced its 2023 lineup. Headliners include The Smile, Big Thief, and what did we say it was yesterday? Eva, right?
Bon Iver, yeah.
Bon
yeah,
Iver.
Bon Iver, yep.
Yeah, which is in Wisconsin. band.
Oh,
from
Indy.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say
band.
Indiana. I'm so
no,
sorry.
No,
Yeah.
Indie band from Wisconsin. Include Khalifa, Coffee, and Killer Mike.
Yeah. This year's summer concert will be in Union Park from Friday, July 21st through Sunday, July 23rd. Tickets are on sale right now. And do you know, as soon as we did that yesterday, we were talking about Bon Iver.
You heard the song.
A viewer send me a link to all of their songs and to listen to them on Spotify. They got some good stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so check that out.
I love our viewers.
Yeah, right?
They really do listen and pay attention, and they have our back.
This viewer was more like, bruh, listen, like you should have known better. Yeah, it was one of those.
Oh, they came for you?
Yeah, they came. Thank you, right?
Never
Came
mind,
for
I don't
me.
love them. If you come for Terrell, I don't love you. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. And I didn't even get to talk about Dancing with the Stars.
That's right.
Be quiet for a second, because I got something to say about that.
Me too.
Right now, I don't have really much to say about the weather other than this is a beautiful shot, Tracy.
I don't either. So let's talk about Dancing with the Stars and Bon.
I
this
wonder,
viewer.
when she announced, and you could put the camera back on me, announced that she was leaving, did she leave on her own, or was that a bigger decision?
That's a good question.
What do you think?
I think it was a bigger decision.
I do too.
Yeah, I don't think that.
I do too.
'cause
I
why
don't think
would
it was
she-
working.
Why would she?
Yeah,
leave?
why would you leave
Right,
that job?
No.
And I think Julianne Hough is going to be great.
She is going to be
at
terrific.
it.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, so we're done.
Okay.
Oh, here I am again. I can talk about Dancing with it. No, I won't expand. Good morning. I'll expand weather-wise so you know what to prepare for. Not much out there right now. So we have more time to discuss that. Severe weather risk, not for our area, but out to the southwest tomorrow night into the day on Thursday. So this evening, we will get a few passing rain showers. Everything pretty light. Not expecting storms tonight, but tomorrow night and into the day on Thursday, some heavy rain may be coming our way and a few storms as well. Russ?
Still have these major metro delays on the UP Northwest line. Much earlier, they had a track obstruction near Barrington. They're still recovering. They're running at a restricted speed between Barrington and Palatine, so 20 to 50 minutes on both inbound and outbound trains. The travel times are still pretty high, 50 minutes to an hour 5. We still have delays, even though this crash southbound 55 at Cass, for the most part, is off to the shoulder. Now we have more of a Gapers delay on the northbound side, but it's backed up for miles either way. Take a look outside. We've got 2 cameras I want to show you, and we're going to start with the tri-state southbound at the 290. That crash is still in the right lane, but the southbound delays start all the way back at Irving. And then, of course, the lovely Kennedy construction. Here's our crew. Right over the Montrose Bridge, inbound traffic reduced to 2 lanes, Montrose to Irving. That's just the beginning. It is 1 hour from O'Hare to downtown, and the Edens is between 40 and 50 minutes. Lake Cook to the Junction, Val and Terrell.
All right, got it, Ross. Thank you. Still to come, spring break season is here and a record number of people are planning to travel. What you need to do to avoid getting left behind. That's in 90 seconds. Hang tight. So look, if you're traveling for spring break this year, you're going to want to pack some patience and some extra money.
Yeah, new forecast shows spring break 2023 may be the busiest travel season ever for the airline industry. Here's more on what you can expect and how you can still find travel deals out there.
Spring is here, and the airline industry has been bracing for what it says will be the busiest travel season ever. According to a new forecast from trade group Airlines for America, 10 major airlines, including Delta, Southwest, and JetBlue, are expected to carry a record number of passengers this season.
We can pretty well expect that those predictions to come true. And the reason why is that for each of the 2 months so far in 2023, you have seen travel numbers exceed the same month in 2019.
So what does that mean for you? Travel expert Scott Keyes says expect more of what's become the usual: longer lines at airports and packed popular destinations. Meanwhile, AAA's spring travel survey suggests many families are taking multi-generational vacations.
Families are making up for lost time. Grandparents traveling with their adult children and their grandkids.
Experts say spring is seen as a critical test for the airline industry, which is still working to recover and return to pre-pandemic capacity levels despite robust demand.
I think you're seeing a renormalization of travel in 2023, both for spring break and beyond.
If you still haven't booked, here's one tip to find a spring break deal. Consider arbitrage. If you live near a city that has a different spring break schedule, consider booking flights from there instead.
With different academic calendars, you're going to see a different spring break week and substantially cheaper fares out of those cities.
So go, take a trip.
That's right. Coming up, two of our ABC7 colleagues are recognized for their hard work. We'll be right back.
All right, so we're going to take a quick moment here to show our colleagues some love. ABC7.
Okay, it's a
Samantha
PDO
Chapman
inbound Edens at Devon on the right side.
was in the spotlight yesterday for her work as a children's author. She was featured on the Tamron Hall Show. The segment is Let's Get Lit. It's a series. Sorry, prompter scrolled ahead. Samantha says that she wrote the book to cheer up all the kids who were stuck at home during the pandemic.
And our own Mark Rivera is receiving a special honor. Mark will take home the Latinos Under 40 Rising Star Award during the Chicago Latinos 40 Under 40 class of 2022. The award recognizes 40 young people from different industries. Congratulations to Mark and to Sam.
Doing big things, both of you. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
All right.
So for Tracy and Roz, I'm Val Warner.
And I'm Terrell Brown. Thank you so much for watching this morning at 7 a.m. Tanya's going to have a news update in just a moment. From everyone here at ABC7, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m.
This has been Eyewitness News, streaming at 7. Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It's 7:56. I'm Tanya Babbage. Drivers who use the Kennedy Expressway might want to look for alternate routes starting today. The 3-year-long Kennedy construction project is underway. Overnight, IDOT crews began to set up barricades on the inbound side. The 2 left lanes are now down from Montrose to Irving Park. The 3-year, $150 million project will be done in 3 phases. First, the inbound lanes this year, and then the reversible lanes in 2024, followed by the outbound lanes in 2025. During this first phase, the express lanes will be inbound only for at least the next year. We'll check on weather and traffic for you up next.